Hey guys, Ivan here, and we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is of Martin Fitzwater at 1 day out, rocking that mustache, trying to copy Chris Bumstead, I guess, but he's actually looking like a freaking serial killer, right? But don't worry, you can bring your kids to this show. He actually shaved it. He is not gonna look like this on the stage. And I'm also pretty sure Chris Bumstead is gonna rock the full beard, but we'll see about that. As far as Martin's look, as far as his conditioning right now, this is kinda what I was hoping to see Chris look like. I mean, this sort of look, like full, blasting full, but just dry enough, conditioned enough. And I gotta say, Stefan Kinsel knows how to pick his guys. He is not missing a single pick. Like Martin, I mean, a couple of days ago, he was looking kinda watery. He wasn't looking super full or dry. But right now, at 1 day out, he actually looks so much better, man. Like so much drier and fuller. And the show is tomorrow, and I think he's gonna get even fuller and drier. So it's gonna be an amazing look. It's gonna be basically him at his best, and Martin at his best. It's gonna be very difficult to beat him. With the fullness, the size, the completeness he has, with great conditioning too, and also with, pretty classic looking shape, right? Like he's also very aesthetic. Small waist, nice lines, nice muscle insertions. He's going to be amazing on that stage for sure. He's gonna have the height disadvantage, but is it gonna prevent him from winning this show? I doubt it. But again, anything is possible. If Chris shows up at like 250, which is only like 8 pounds more than in classic physique, like I said in my previous video, I don't have him winning. I did change my mind, basically based on what I saw. Some of you guys were like, you can't change your mind. Of course I can, I just did. It all depends on what these guys look like. I can't just, make a prediction and stick with it no matter what. I already spoke about this before. Like, what I see is what I want to say. And right now, it seems like Martin is looking the best. But you never know what kind of magic Han Rambo could pull in the last couple of days. Maybe Chris is going to get so much fuller. And he's going to look like maybe drier, more conditioned than Martin. And like with his height and structure. Anything is possible, really, but it's also possible that Chris is gonna be like 4th or 5th. I mean, we'll see. I'm super excited to finally see that on stage, but take a look at this pose of Martin, like a classic pose. Looks phenomenal, looks very classic, and as far as his legs, that's his basically strongest point, I would say. They're looking incredible, honestly, like they're full, they're separated, you can see the feathers, you can see the conditioning, the fullness is coming up. I think he's gonna be even fuller. Like blasting full tomorrow and probably a bit drier, but this is already looking really good. And like from behind also he's shredded. He did not take this Prague prep lightly, even though he already basically, placed 4th at the Mr. Olympia. He had a phenomenal year, basically his Mr. Olympia debut, but he still needs to qualify for the Olympia next year, because only top 3 now is qualified for the next year. Up until recently, it was the top 5, but now it's actually the top 3. So this is going to be a great opportunity for Martin to qualify and to have an entire year to really focus on growing, to have enough time to recover his body, to take care of his health, and then to grow more, improve more. And then next year, man, I can see this guy in the top 3 for sure. Top 3 or even top 2, honestly. So again, he is not taking this lightly. He is showing up at his absolute best. Who knows, maybe he even comes better than at the Mr. Olympia. That's also very possible. I mean, if that's the case, then it's gotta be lights out for everybody else, including Chris Bumstead. But we'll see. Maybe it's gonna be more interesting. Maybe Chris is actually gonna push Martin. If Chris places as high as 2nd, that's crazy still. But at this point, I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't see it. I think Martin is gonna win this one rather handily. Whatever you guys think, comment down below. Alright, the next thing we got is a new physique update from HorseMD. So let's check if he improved his conditioning from Romania to Prague Pro. I mean, I don't see any big changes. He's still not in great conditioning. Like, you can see a film of water basically everywhere on his body, his midsection, his glutes. His chest is not very separated. This is not good enough conditioning. I mean, look at the glutes right here. Like, there is still fat there. Like, this is definitely not good enough to beat Chris Bumstead, in my opinion. I think maybe he's going to be a bit bigger, but not that much bigger, really. I mean, he recently tried to do classic physique. He failed. He can't do that. Maybe he could if he lost a lot of muscle. But even if he was super ripped, super shredded, if he was in, let's say, Chris Bumstead conditioning, he would still be over the classic physique weight cap. So, no, he's not a classic bodybuilder, but he's not lean enough to be winning open shows. He needs to improve this conditioning, but is it going to happen this year? No, I don't see it. Maybe another prep, another year, put on more muscle and actually diet down completely and get shredded. If he does that, yeah, I can see him win a pro show, but that's not going to happen this year. I don't have him in my top 3 at Prague Pro. It's going to be probably Chris Bumstead, Sean Clarida, and Martin Fitzwater. I don't know what Andrea Prest is going to look like. Christian Wolski. Maybe those guys can push and beat Chris Bumstead. We'll see. But Horse MD, best case scenario, 6th place. Alright, the next thing we got is somebody who we haven't really spoke about in a long time, Blessing Awodibu. He took a longer off season, and I feel like he made some pretty big improvements as far as the size. The size of his upper body. We can't see his legs. And we all know that was the only reason why he wasn't placing as high as he could have. The legs were not up to par to his upper body, and he had an injury, a couple of injuries, I think. Something is wrong with his knees, I think, so he can't really train his legs to the max. And here he's not showing them. I mean, he's not even taking his clothes off. He's just only showing us his upper body mass, and it's looking ridiculous, honestly. Like, it's looking super, super massive. Are his legs following the growth of his upper body? I have no idea. Unless they are, then he's screwed. Then it's going to be even worse than before. Because his upper body right now is looking like one of the biggest upper bodies in open bodybuilding today, honestly. Like, this is looking insane here. Blessing Awodibu is a freak. He's a monster for sure. I mean, the boogeyman. But the legs, they need to catch up. And if his legs were better, I think he would be showing them instead of showing his upper body. But who knows? Maybe his legs are actually better as well. As far as the upper body, he's definitely bigger, so he grew. And can you really, if he's training his legs hard, can you really grow in certain body parts and not grow everywhere? I mean, he definitely looks like he's eating a lot, he's taking a lot, and if he's training the legs as hard as his upper body, yeah, I know he has injuries, he probably can't squat super heavy, but I'm sure he can do giant sets, stuff like that. That can also grow your legs. That can probably grow your legs the fastest. So if he's really focused on improving his legs, and if he's doing everything else aside from training to grow, then yeah, I'm sure his legs are bigger as well. But are they gonna match his upper body? I doubt it, honestly. His upper body is looking super massive right now. He's gonna look awesome for the photos, for the IG, for YouTube, but on the stage, he needs to be more complete than the last time we saw him on stage. So, I don't know if he made those kind of improvements, but we'll see, I guess, once he decides to compete again. I don't know when it's gonna be, but maybe next year. I hope next year, because he had a long off-season, a productive off-season, obviously. Hopefully, he's gonna try and compete maybe the Arnold Classic if they invite him. Maybe some of the shows earlier in the season next year. We'll see. But yeah, he definitely looks like he put on some tissue. Alright, and finally, we got a really freaking impressive physique update from Nick Walker. And it seems like he finally managed to fight off the haters. So as you can see, there are no more Nick Talker and similar hate comments. Even if you scroll down further, you won't see many hate comments, honestly. Now, I don't know if he's moderating, if he's deleting them. I don't think so. I don't think he ever did that. He's never replying to any comments, positive or negative. So I don't know if he's even reading the comments, but there are no hate comments at this point. I'm guessing because he actually looks insane in his recent updates. For example, this side chest, man, this is looking ridiculous. It's looking insanely big, man. I don't know who has a bigger side chest in the world right now. Maybe Samson Dauda, I don't know, maybe. As far as like Harry and Derek, I wouldn't say so. Martin, no. This has to be the biggest side chest. He is probably the biggest bodybuilder of today, pound for pound at least. Like, they are taller guys, but for his height, I don't think anybody's packing this much size. Now, just like with Blessing Awodibu, we still can't see Nick's legs right here. We saw them in a couple of different updates, but not here. I think he is progressing in the leg department. I think that's his main focus, and I think his legs are gonna get a bit better. Are they ever gonna match his upper body? No, genetically it's impossible. Not just because he can't put enough size on them, but because of the muscle insertions. And also the length of his legs compared to his upper body. Like, his legs are a bit stubby, his upper body is just genetically bigger. So he's always gonna have a dominant upper body compared to the legs, but I mean, in the side pose and the back pose, that's not the case. It's just the quads from the front. So he has overall leg size, but he doesn't have the best quads, the best quad shape. And the upper body, again, incredible, crazy. The size of those freaking arms and chest, and the way he's hitting it as well. He's showing crazy width and crazy density and thickness, and I think he's controlling his midsection very well here. Better than at the New York Pro, to be honest. So maybe his new coach has him doing something to make his gut smaller. Maybe it's just posing better, I don't know, but here we don't see the gut hanging out. It's actually tucked in and it looks very nice. We know he's going to be competing next year, early next year, but not at the Arnold Classic. I'm guessing probably a Pittsburgh Pro, maybe New York Pro again, maybe even Detroit Pro, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure when we see him on stage next time, it's going to be a new and improved Nick Walker, and it's going to blow our minds. I'm pretty sure about that. Whatever you guys think, however, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up for more content like this about bodybuilding. And of course, the coverage of the Prague Pro tomorrow and the day after. Guys, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, all the best, and bye-bye.